It's basically, this is not a boxing film. It's a film, a human story against the background of boxing. And that is the bit that grabbed me so much. And he could have been a cricketer, he could have been a golf player, but what makes it such an unusual thing is the fact that, as I always say, he fought against four opponents. The first one is the boxer he fought against. The second one is the fact that he always broke his hands. 60% of the fights he had broken hands. He knocked out world champion when he won the world championship. He had a broken hand. And the third thing was the whole thing against apartheid. They hated him. Wherever he went, people spat on him. They threw bottles at him, and they just treated him like rubbish. And he was totally against apartheid. He was for, he was not a political man. And the fourth thing was, his father was his trainer. He was so overtrained that whenever he got into the ring, he was tired. So he had four opponents against him. And that is the bit that interested me so much.
Chris, tell me, so the script, it sounds wonderful, but the script specifically wasn't written for Gerrie Coetzee.
It was.
Was it written for Gerrie Coetzee?
It's a biography, yes. Totally biography. It's slightly adapted here and there just to make it flow better. But that's what they do in all movies.
Yeah.
And I have just adapted it slightly to make it more South African. And after I read the script, I spoke to Gerrie a few times, and he gave me some incidents which I've added to the story. But it's 90% still the original script, I would think. It was just a great basis that we could. The blueprint was very good.
And if you refer to a script as excellent, what makes it? Is it the storyline? Is it incidents? Is it actual? Is it the quotes, the dialogue?
It's very good dialogue. It's got a combination of it's a lot of action, a lot of good boxing, a lot of good humor, and an incredibly good human story and a love story. That's all there.
You have very big names associated with this movie, and as we've heard from Dr. Ali, you were approached by them to actually take part.
Yeah.
So that is huge accolades, kudos to you, and well deserved, we might say. But these huge names associated, will this, with the marketing, because it's very important, the marketing with the movie, to get the word out there, to actually make it international?
Yeah, that's a marketing.
Marketing guy right here. Well, first of all, when I heard about who they wanted to play the trainer, okay, and by me being in film already, and I know a lot of celebrities, they had chosen Robert De Niro. So when they told me about Robert De Niro, I already have a casting company. So I said, well, I'll see if I can get the connection with the Robert De Niro for me. The minute I sent, I had an email on De Niro people from my PR company, and I sent email to one of the PR company of Robert De Niro. They literally called me back immediately. And so I'm working on that with Robert De Niro family.
So getting Robert De Niro, the huge, world-famous actor, to actually be the trainer in this movie?
Yeah, he's the He's going to be playing the trainer of Gerrie Coetzee. Yeah.
Yes, of the actor, but Gerrie Coetzee, who plays the part.
There's some other people they want to put in the film, and they're going to be using me to contact these people, since I know them on a personal level. And then Mr. Mohammad Khan is the one that's producing and putting together the promotional and marketing of the film.
Can you tell us a little bit more of that? I know the movie still has to be made and so on. It's early days. Production should start in September, August, 6 months?
3 or 4 months from now.
3 or 4 months, okay, thank you. But what do you have in mind? Is this a very marketable product? Are you excited about it?
I'm very excited. First of all, it's fate, because I was born in Boksburg, so Boksburg meets the Boksburg bomber, and I left when I was 9 years old, so it's just fate. I think it's a great human story, and Americans love human stories. They love stories of the underdog. succeeding. Gerrie Coetzee took a lot of risks outside the ring, like Muhammad Ali, the champ. And this trip has already created a buzz in Hollywood. Anytime there's media and it goes out in the wire, it creates a buzz. So it's like all movies, it's a big challenge, marketing, distribution, but it's a great challenge because it's a beautiful human story.
I believe Gerrie Coetzee is quite famous in America, in the US. He's quite well known there.
Yes, yes.
Why is
Yes.
that?
Because anytime somebody does something in the human capacity, he was not only just a fighter going through challenges, fighting with his hands broken. That was a challenge all by itself. That was a big ordeal for a fighter to be fighting and his hands are hurting or broken. Muhammad Ali had problem with his hands at one time as well, and by him going through that and then dealing with the human factor of the apartheid with the most honorable Nelson Mandela, and then this brought a big siege to make all these historical events around the fighter as well. And it's the same journey that Muhammad Ali took, fighting against the war in the army and being defeated and won the case. And Mr. Coetzee is the same, because he not only fought with these big challenges with his hands and operations, and even now he just had a hip operation. Oh my goodness. And he's still in good health. He looks good. He's still pretty. And he was a very good looking man. He had a beautiful mustache. And I just get goosebumps thinking about it. And at the same time, my grandson, Muhammad Ali, and our grandson is a fighter now, middleweight. And I hear that Coetzee's grandson is fighting too. So that would be a great factor to see those two grandsons fighting. It is like amazing. And my grandson, Niro Ali, just won 2 days ago. And he even, out of nowhere, he come up with the Ali Shuffle that Ali used back in the day. And it's just so amazing to see two grandsons meeting each other. And that's what we want so much. And Mr. Dennis, we would like him to produce that fight, and to see all of this, the fighting family. This is a legacy and a heritage, not only for Muhammad Ali and Americans, but with Mr. Coetzee and South Africa. And this is amazing. And the connection with Star Power, he's being born out in South Africa. We've been waiting for a moment and dreaming of a moment to come to South Africa. And Mr. Kenddrie sent me this opportunity to come to Africa. Now everything is in place. This is a divine appointment. This is a divine connection. This is a divine project.
Dr.
I think
Ali,
God brought this.
it sounds absolutely magnificent,
Yeah.
but we all know you now because of this project, because of the boxing,
Yes.
and you being Dr. Or Muhammad Ali's former wife, etc. But you are absolutely famous in your own right and have won an Oscar yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
And can you just tell us a little bit about your life?
But my life has been in an uproar since I was 10 years old, and before that, because I was raised up under a leader of the Islamic belief in America called the Nation of Islam, with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and then I was born Muslim, so it was like Ali was a revert who came to become Muslim because he admired me and my stand with the Muslims, and he kind of admired me for that, and that's what made him interested in marrying me. And I helped him with poems and everything before he even got married. And I was a young girl and told him he should change his name because this Cassius Clay was a Roman name, and I tore up his autograph because of it. And it was like, it never happened to him before, you know how young men get rejected. Young men don't like being rejected.
No man like
no man like to be rejected. And he was a pretty one, so that started the whole gambit. And the target became on my forehead from then on when I first did that. With my book coming out soon, God willing, it took a long time to get this book out. It took a lot of patience, a lot of healing, and I didn't want to write a book angry or anything like that. I wanted to heal first before I write a book. This is why I made the name The Forgiveness. I forgave Muhammad Ali from everything that I went against the grain, and I forgave him, but because we were a couple that fought for history, fought for rights, fought for women's rights, fought for human rights, and this is the part of my life with Muhammad Ali. That side of the story never was injected in the books, because when he wrote out his book, we was in the break of divorce. And so nobody really elaborated on it. They kind of stayed away from it. So, and I myself, I said, I'm not going to write a book. I've lived my life. We've done this. And then as time grew, the story was fading away. My life with him was like fading out. And I said, no, that's not going to happen. I got to put this book out. Nobody's going to ever know the story. It's one thing, and a lot of people ask me, how is it like being married to Muhammad Ali? They have to realize, I was there before he became big.
Yes.
But it wasn't me. I didn't marry the Muhammad Ali.
You were the woman behind the man.
Yeah, I helped build it and guided this person. Yeah. We worked together. We suffered together. He wasn't suffering by himself. So it's very important for me to tell my side of the story, because my side of the story created and built Muhammad Ali that you see today.
How many children did you have together?
We have 4 beautiful children. Okay. I am the first family. And his daughter, Maryam, our twin daughters, Rashida and Jamila, and his only son, Muhammad Ibn Ali. And this was the first. This is before Layla. This is before Assad. This was before all of that.
Also, a very interesting thing that, I traveled with the champ before I met Miss Khalila, and then later on I met Khalila and Sarge. But very interesting, when she met the champ, when you think about it, we're in a country, right? Country town. Imagine a country boy from here meeting a powerful young girl in Johannesburg. You know what I mean? So Muhammad Ali comes from Louisville. He's a country boy meeting a very ideologically sophisticated young girl who's in the midst of the civil rights movement from childhood.
And that was in Chicago.
That's right.
That was in Chicago. And that impact, that's why I'm looking forward to our book.
Yes.
That impact, the world doesn't know about, and they'll see in her book.
And what about a movie, Dr. Ali?
That would be very interesting. The movie, it's on its way.
So it is in the pipeline. But first we have to get the Gerrie Coetzee movie done.
That's right. We must do Gerrie Coetzee.
Against all odds.
Yeah, because it's also building my legacy as a filmmaker. And here, meeting Mr. Coetzee as my friend and mentor, it's building my story as we speak. Absolutely. So you're in the middle of the story making. You're in the middle of it. Yes.
History in the making. Yeah. Now, just before we say we finish off, I want to ask you to say Koos.
Koos.
Koos. And you said it perfectly. Koos Roets.
So that's Koos Roets. Okay, there you go. Koos Roets.
Dr. Ali, it was an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, my dear sister. I appreciate it. Not only my book will tell the story of Muhammad Ali in life, it also gives the freedom and the rights for Muslim women You have the Me Too Act in Chicago, in America, but I have the Me Too Act for the women, Muslim women, because they have been in the background for a very long time, and they are the essential part of our men today that we struggle for our rights too. And a lot of it is not exposed as much, or women are not exposed as much, but now in 2022, since my trip to Dubai, and now the women in Saudi Arabia can drive a car. I mean, we have come a long way. And so we have to get our Muslim rights. We have a lot of women of empowerment. They just chose me as a Goodwill ambassador in Dubai to be with the women of empowerment and the Emiratis of Dubai. And these women are doing a lot of great things. Look at you. You're a woman and you're a journalist, and you've done a beautiful thing, and you're embarking on a great story with great people, and Mr. Coetzee as a director of a great, so I'm so honored to be a part of Against All Odds. And I cannot wait to wait. I got goosebumps thinking about, man, working with this. This is historic. This is history. We got, then I bring Mr. Mohammad Khan, I bring him from California to be a part of this, the Star Power Act, because that's what he does. And it's just a miracle.
See, for example, whenever we travel with Miss Ali, the Star Power collects stars to highlight humanitarian issues. Like when we were in the Cape Town, we went to Kenddrie Village, and Kenddrie Village was basically trying to solve the very, very basic needs of people living in township. Not enough toilets, not enough showers, just, so we did that stop. So the Star Power of Miss Ali to magnify.
Makes a huge difference,
So I want
absolutely,
to
and puts in the
develop and
spotlight.
build some showers and some laundromats so they can, have decent plumbing and everything like that. So that's one of my projects I want to complete to help the people there. Also, a lot of people don't really know a lot of what I do. I'm an aviator. I fly planes.
Watch out.
Mr.
She's a
Mohammed,
pilot, boy.
he took me to Islamabad, and they found out I was a pilot, and I ended up flying the plane, and he wouldn't get on with me, but I ended up doing a 360. I am the maverick of the skies. Trust me.
Fabulous.
I love flying.
MK would not, he won't fly in the same plane.
You wouldn't get in a plane.
That's a little bit, is it a little bit sort of chauvinistic, sir?
If it was a man pilot, I won't
He
fly.
wouldn't have got on.
Okay.
I like being on the ground.
You're flying.
Yeah, and also in California, a lot of people have heard of out of Compton, straight out of Compton, about the poor area in Los Angeles, and they don't realize that there's an airport in Compton, and they made me CEO of the Compton Flying to teach young black brothers and sisters to fly. And so now.
So that's a complete program now to develop.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I wanted to get people to learn how to fly. If we could direct our children in something positive, these kids got energy. Like me, I got energy. And
it must be utilized in a positive way,
get
not
the
negative.
The negative, and take that energy and direct it into a positive action. People flying. I look at NASA every day. I don't see a lot of Afro-Americans in the NASA program. We need to be in the space program. We need to do all the things.
Just one message for our readers. What do you think of South Africa, and then in particular this garden route area that you see now and that you've been in? And what do you think of the South Africans and our country?
It showed me that there's paradise on earth. And I'd like to express and have an example of being on earth in paradise, because in another life, I want to be in paradise as well. So if you can enjoy this life, you'll really appreciate the other life, right? And to help people, to give, to build, and help people, you're building your paradise in Jannah. You're building, if people realize that, there won't be so many suicides. They have to learn that they're here on earth as a purpose. And the fact that they didn't choose themselves, they should be honored that they were born on this earth at this time. And they need to get out of
Well,
that.
also, tell them about this place that we came to, which was unexpected, visiting Mr. Coetzee right at his home in this beautiful,
Yes,
I would say an oasis in the Karoo.
that's right. And coming through those mountains, oh my goodness, I had to ask Mr. Utuk if Mr. Coetzee had any background of kidnapping. Because I felt I was being kidnapped in a country. I said, I can't find my way back. I mean, all through those mountains, the driver, suppose something happened to him, but how am I get back? So Coetzee, I'm glad you're an honorable man. I'm blessed to be with this honorable man. And Eunice, man, this woman, she is so awesome. Eunice is my mother away from home, man. She's beautiful. They have opened up, and then I brought my sister right here, Dr. Patricia from Richmond, Virginia. That's when I met Coetzee. I was down there at her school, raising money for her school, and I'm sitting, I'm going, what he's telling me, and I'm going, I'm taking Patricia with me, man. I'm going to take my sister with me. She's an educator, Sister Patricia, and she's a deacon of a church. I mean, this woman is amazing. And if I don't take her with me, all of this will be lost. So she can go back and tell the young kids at the school, oh my goodness, I just had to bring her along with me.
Dr. Patricia, and your surname?
It's Dr. Patricia Aldridge.
Aldridge.
Yes.
And when we went to Kenddrie village, Philippi, thank you.
Philippi, yeah.
Dr. Eldridge and the village, Star Power, signed an MOU to make a connection between schools in the United States and schools in the Cape, in a very, very vulnerable area.
So they can be pen pals, the students can be pen pals and communicate with the Africans and Americans together as a unison to bring that blood, to bring that connection together.
And if I may please, I want to thank Salome and Luca and Rita. They have been so wonderful. And I think we've slept better here than all the big hotels.
I know. But you know what? To see a beautiful, gorgeous woman like Luca out here in Africa somewhere, what? I'm gonna have to take her back to America, man, and make her a movie star.
Yes,
She's
picture in the
beautiful.
movie.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, look how beautiful she is. She's so beautiful. And she put the Wi-Fi and connected us and everything and showed us how to fix coffee. Thank you, Luca. Thank you. She is amazing. She's like one of my daughters. I'm gonna kidnap you. I'm gonna kidnap you. You're gonna be one of my daughters. I have a new daughter named Luca.
So now she's the kidnapper.
She's a
You know what? I want to bring my children. I have 6 children, 5 girls and 1 boy, and I want to bring them to Africa to show and share with me what they're always so busy. They're doing this and doing that. They need to come to Africa. I want to bring my family to Africa to show them what their mama went through. My mama's living in paradise now. I'm my own age of 71, and I feel great.
And you look even greater.
Yeah, baby. I'm 105. I want to be down here in that pool in Africa. This is amazing. You know what? My mother and my father especially, when I was have a birthday, when I got 8 years old, I had to stop my father and say, Dad, why is it that I have to always eat corned beef and cabbage on my birthday? What's with the corned beef and cabbage? No other kid does that. He said, well, daughter, this is an Irish holiday. It's for the Irish. It's St. Patrick's Day. He was born on that day. And there are 2 things that the Irish people do. They drink and they fight, in that order. And they fight for the cause to the death. And these are great people. And I said, Oh, okay. All right. So I started learning Gaelic and I started listening to Celtic music and I just love it. I even have a cousin. His name is Brian Cunningham. And you can look at my cousin on YouTube. He's with the Atlantic Stars and Atlantic Steps. It's Brian Cunningham, pure Irish bloke. And he can do the beautiful dancing. This is my cousin. And so I have this Irish part of my family, and I've looked up on my ancestry. I'm 47% Irish German. Did you believe that?
Sure.
A little African in there somewhere. Yep. And so
amazing.
it's amazing to be a part of this. And I'm going through to come up to this place Coetzee invited me to. What is it? Klaarstroom Hotel. All the names coming up here was either Dutch or Irish names, and I said, "Wow, in Africa!" So it shows Africa is not just a jungle; it's a beautiful place to visit, and it's just amazing.
Also, want to clear something up. There was an interview she did in Johannesburg, and the paper came out, and it implied that Muhammad Ali was a bad guy, and that was a big mistake. And I appreciate if you could, when you do the writing, set the record clear. Right?
So yeah, right. You know, but a lot of people, they do things for excitement. Just for being here, meeting the people, it's all good news. And they just want to always damper and make bad news all the time. But this kind of article, it should be good news. You have on your shirt, no bad days, all right? You know, so we're going to have no bad news on this trip. No bad news. We want to show how exciting good news can be.
Amen.